All right, let's be real. Most people in network marketing blame their lack of results on not being good at recruiting. And yeah, recruiting is a skill. And like with any skill, it gets better with practice and by working on it. But what the real problem is they're simply not doing it enough. So let's talk about that in today's episode. All right, what's up, my friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back. So let me just be blunt, okay? So network marketing, people are like blaming their lack of results from like, oh, I'm not good at recruiting. And so because they're not good at recruiting, they avoid recruiting. They avoid the very action that, or one of the actions for sure, that's going to help them to get good at it. Like I said, yes, recruiting is a skill, prospecting, communicating with people is a skill, but the challenge is they're just not doing it enough over a long enough period of time in order to get good at it. So then they just completely stop altogether. And what do? They go to all the busy activities. Okay. So it's not like you have a recruiting problem. You've got a discipline problem. And that's something, I mean, look, don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to be straight with you. The reality is you have to have an incredibly high degree of discipline in order to be highly successful here. Yeah, I mean, you can make a few $100 a month, maybe a grand a month by having no discipline and screwing around and just playing it like a kitty cat plays with the toy. But you're not going to get good at it. You're not going to have good, solid, stable, residual income that you can rely on until you get down with the discipline. And it's like, for example, I'm going through, like, I'm always in student mode, right? I'm always learning. Like I'm never going to be in my life where like I know everything. Now, when it comes to network marketing, I think I know quite a bit, but I still don't know everything, when it comes to every single thing that happens in network marketing. But, 36 years of doing it every single day, it's you figure stuff out. Like I've had enough time in the trenches, enough time, behind the wheel, so to speak, to get the game figured out, which is why I spent all my time teaching and training on it based on my experience in the field. But one example, like I'm spending a lot of time, like hours and hours. Like I've mentioned in a couple of different lives, like I've been getting up at 3:45 in the morning to study day trading. Do I want to get out of bed at 3:45 in the morning and like take a shower, drink a cup of coffee and get dressed and be up here? I'm up here at this desk at 4 a.m. my time, not 4 a.m. East Coast time. So I'm not lacking in discipline there. And so the discipline of me showing up to learn how to do that is high. You'd say I wouldn't have this. You could say, oh, you don't have discipline if I wake up at 7:30 and then I never make it to, follow this guy that I'm following. And then when it comes to actually trading, which is interesting, and I mean, discipline across the board. If you want to be an incredible athlete, you got to push yourself. You got to show up. You got to show up when you don't feel like it. You got to show up at the very best version of yourself that you've got available that day and give it your all, not give it your 20%. Trading is no different. Like one of the things in trading that I'm learning, it's like the reason a lot of people lose money, it's actually kind of twofold, which is fascinating. Number one, it's like mindset, which is crazy. We talk about mindset in network marketing. Mindset is one of the most important things when it comes to trading. That's no different. When I say trading, I'm talking about trading stocks, just a clarification. And the other thing is discipline, the discipline of waiting and having the patience to wait for the exact proper, what we would call an A+ setup. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. I'm just using this as an example. But again, I don't think that it's necessarily like a recruiting problem. It's people start and then they get a couple of rejections or they, things don't go the way that they planned. And then they step back and they step away from the thing that's going to help them improve. Now, again, it's one of the things that's going to help you improve because the experience behind the wheel. Think about this for a second. If you got kids that are of driving age, like I got an 18 and a 20-year-old, when they were 15 and a half with their learner's permits, they were very timid, nervous, didn't know where the brake and the gas and what mirrors to look in. And when when it came to taking a right turn out of our neighborhood, I'm like, okay. I mean, you could have easily gone there. There's plenty of room. Or when we're driving down the highway to our river property, and I love it. My kids going exactly the speed limit. You know, we're behind this truck that's going 10 minutes below the speed limit. And I'm like, dude, you can pass, but he doesn't have the confidence just yet to go past the truck because he hasn't had that much time behind the wheel. And so you've got to give yourself enough time behind the wheel in order to, get into that, however you want to phrase it, get into that, I don't know. I mean, the confidence mode, I've used the mojo, a state of flow. We could use whatever term where you're just like, I'm willing to step into it. So it's not that, it's the fact that you're stepping away for too long. And then sometimes people step away permanently. So discipline is so incredibly important here. So if you're not going to step into it, even not knowing, here's the thing. If everybody had to have like a PhD degree in network marketing before they could ever like prospect their very first person, there would be no network marketing profession. And I think one of the most beautiful things about this game is you don't have to know anything. Now you need to maybe remember the name of your company and what you're involved in and where the website is that you're going to send them to. But I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being that guy or girl. It's like, hey, John, Todd Falcone, dude, I don't even know what the heck I'm doing yet. But I just, I looked at this business. I've been looking for something for a while. I found something. It's super cool. I'm doing this. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. But I mean, it would be fun for us to make some money together. And if I sent you this video, would you take a look at it? So you're actually being vulnerable there. And you're not acting like a pro because you're not a pro anyhow. But yet you have the discipline to show up and do it in spite of not being the PhD in network marketing guy. You follow my drift? So it's not, again, it's not like the recruiting problem in and of itself. It's the discipline problem. So if you keep stepping away because you're not good, and I could give example after example in so many different areas, like my 18-year-old, I remember the first time I took him fly fishing. We got a little lake right down the street from our house, and fly fishing is hard. I fished my whole life, and it's just different. I mean, if any of you have ever fly fished, if you've never fly fished, let me just tell you, casting a fly rod with no weight is hard, even for the most experienced of fisher people. Okay. And he's like getting the line caught up around his neck and not getting it out. And like, he was probably, this is like 7 years ago, something like that. So he's probably 11 or 11 years old, crying. I can't do it. I'm not good at it. And he wanted to quit. He wanted to step away from recruiting. He wanted to quit because he wasn't seeing the results and he felt he wasn't good at it. And I had to say, buddy, dude, you've never done it before. How can you expect to be good at something that you've never even done before? And I had to keep him in there long enough to just have enough experience to get it out far enough where he hooked this 16-inch trout. And he went from just crying and exacerbated and just ready to go back home and never do it again. Sound familiar? And we got that one fish. And that kid is a fishing stud. I don't know. He's got something at the end of his, I won't even get into this other story because he caught a fish in I'll just tell you a little tidbit. He caught a fish first cast in a spot that I've fished for 20 years. This one little corner at our river property where, I've put hundreds of hours in there and never brought in one single steelhead. This kid, a couple summers ago, it's the greatest picture ever, hooks a 15-pound steelhead on his first cast. He would have never had that opportunity to cast that thing out there if he stepped away and didn't have the discipline to stay there long enough to figure out how to do it. How many ways can we make that relate directly to network marketing? It's not that you have a recruiting problem, is that you're not talking to enough people to have the time under the wheel, the time at the wheel, in order for you to see success. And the second thing, and I've talked about this so many times, that I don't even know what to say. It's like, why aren't you doing this? It's probably the thing that drives me more nuts than anything else. I mean, to the point of it almost pisses me off. Okay. I'll just be straight. It probably does piss me off if I'm really being really straight. It's like you keep saying you want to get good. Okay. Well, two things. You can't get good at something that you never do. It's impossible. There's nothing that you can get good at that you never do. So you've got to do it in spite of not being good at it. And number two, how much time are you spending practicing? Okay. Those of you that have followed me for any period of time, how many times have I said that to you? In fact, those of you that have followed me, those of you that have heard me talk about the concept of practice more than twice, more than 5 times, let me ask you straight up, how much time are you practicing? And if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm not, if you're not happy with your check, and B, you're still not practicing, well, shame on you. You don't want it bad enough then, is what I'm telling you. Because if you wanted it bad enough, if you wanted success bad enough in this business, you'd be like, okay, I suck at this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to learn from every experience that I've got. I'm not going to step away from the wheel. I'm not going to throw the fly rod down. I'm going to do this. And I know that with each call, with each reach out, with each exposure, with each presentation, I'm going to get better and better and better and better. And that is a promise. I can absolutely assure you, the more times that you do it, the easier it's going to be, the less fearful you will become. And then if you want to go faster, then you practice, you role play, you work on it. Just like with anything else that you do in your life. I can guarantee you, any of you that are exceptional at something, any of you that played a sport growing up, you guys, those of you that know me, you know exactly where I'm going. You went to soccer practice, you went to tennis practice, you went to your swim practice, you went to whatever practice, because it prepared you for the game. It made you better the next time you were in the game, at the set, at the match, at the whatever it was. And so, yeah, it drives me bonkers. Okay. You don't have a recruiting problem. You've got a discipline problem, and you need to learn to be accountable. You need to be accountable for your actions. You need to be accountable for your practice. You need to be accountable until you get up every morning like I do. I'm not saying you got to get up 3:45 in the morning. You get up in the morning and you straight up get after it. Not, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing everything but the thing. Okay. That's what A Team is for. I've got another one starting up. It's been completely overhauled. It is going to be the single best experience that you could possibly get into. If you're like, dude, I want to do more. I want to produce more. I want to have more confidence. I want to be more consistent. I want to have a bigger check, because I will hold you accountable. I will show you how to have the discipline to show up every single day so you can see the success that you've dreamt about, that you wanted to have, but for whatever reason, and you don't have it. And if you knew how to make the change, you would have made it already. And maybe, yeah, I know it's kind of like weight loss. Okay. It's not like you don't know how to lose weight. Like, seriously, I'll use myself as an example. I knew how to lose weight. No, there's nobody that doesn't know how to lose weight. Okay. Eat less, move more. Stop eating the garbage, less calorie consumption than I'm burning more calories than I'm taking in. Okay. It's not hard. Well, how come you haven't done it already? You can ask me that question. Well, Falcone, how come you didn't do it already? I didn't do it because I didn't have the discipline to do it. I wasn't willing to endure the pain to get me where I wanted to be. 1 year ago, I was 215 pounds. I'm now 161. I finally got fed. I was going to cuss. I'm not going to cuss. I got fed up. Then I was just like, I'm done. And you know what's crazy? And the thing that I had to do, because people ask me this all the time, how'd you lose all the weight? You take the shot, you take the pill. I stopped drinking. And it's not just that I stopped drinking. It's all of the bad habits that I had are gone. And it's not like I was drinking like in mass quantity. I'd have a vodka soda at the end of the day, or a martini. And then not even buzzed. Definitely not drunk. And man, I knew that as soon as I have one drink, eat a pizza, eat way more than you're supposed to, then you'll be laying on the couch feeling all bad about yourself, just over and over and over again. And I knew that for years. So it's not like I didn't know. It's like it's not like everybody knows how to lose weight. It's like, do you have the discipline? And now at this point, it's not even discipline for me. I don't even desire to drink. I'm not going to say I'm never going to have a cocktail again. I might. It's not like I don't have a drinking problem. I have an overeating after drinking problem. And so you've got to identify, like, why do you keep stepping away? Why do you keep, why, when you know that the repeated exposure to the activity of prospecting, exposure, inviting, you know, it's going to get you better. You know, it's going to get you results, maybe not as much as you could get if you were better at it. And you also know that practice is going to help you improve. So you know those things, but then you don't do them anyhow. It's because you don't have the discipline. A team is designed to discipline you. Okay. So click the link below here, get yourself registered. We have a hard limit on this thing. So if you wait, I don't know why you'd wait anyhow. Like if you know that you could be doing more, but you're not doing what you know you could be doing, what you desperately want to do, get your butt in A team. Don't wait. Okay. We will sell this thing out. And when we hit the number, you're going to have to wait another 90 days. Okay. We start here soon. You'll see the dates on the website. It's below me. If you're on YouTube, it's below me. If you're on my website, it's below me. You can't miss it. Okay. So get yourself registered and get yourself into A team. There's 3 different tiers to choose from. And I can guarantee you, I will get you doing more. I will help you develop the discipline to show up every day and get done what you've always wanted to get done. So go do it now. Get yourself registered. Don't wait. We will sell out, and I don't want you to miss it. And honestly, do you want yourself to miss it? Do you want to wait another 6 months? Do you want to do what I did? You don't want to do what I did. You don't want to have, seriously, I'm not going to do it right now. One of these days I'll do it. I probably have 50 before pictures in here. 50. Sitting here doing a selfie with my big fat gut with my shirt off. 50. Over, like, I can tell you, I've been here for 8 years. I was in Scottsdale for 5, easily 12 years of photographs, not every day, but like photographs over time. Like, you don't want it to take you 12 years. It took me 12 years to finally get my ass in gear. Finally got sick, finally got the discipline. I want you to have it. I can help you get it done. Get yourself an A team, and I'll see you at the beginning.